Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting Anything Goes Wednesday. And I think we all know what's going on. We are continuing our exploration of how to use water mixable oil sticks. So far, I actually like these things. They're a lot of fun, and I didn't first. So, what we're going to do today that is a little different. I bought these 10 by 10s. It's a gesso board. It's got the 3/4 inch cradle. I never did the squares before, and just for the hell of it, I wanted to try it. But it was hard finding a composition that actually kind of looked good in it. I found this one of this little mountain range that I wanted to give it a whirl. So I figured, why not use the oil sticks and see what happens? So we'll see what we come up with here. Hope everybody's having a good week. If you're in the Midwest, hopefully you're not freezing your you-know-what off. Although tomorrow is Thursday. So that means, according to the Weather Channel and everything else, we're supposed to actually hit 21 degrees tomorrow. I get it. It's the Midwest. It's winter. It's February. But the older I get, the more of a puppy I get. The last 5-6 years, we've had really mild winters, cold-wise. And this one's kind of knocking the crap out of me this year. Like I said, I feel like a wimp, but I don't care. I don't like being cold. Now I know why people retire to Florida. Okay, so I haven't used these since last Wednesday. It's got a little bit of a film on it, but not a big one because they are oil, so it takes a while for these particular ones to dry. So basically, once you really start it or you don't use it for a while, you don't have to use a knife or a palette knife or anything like that to scrape them off. You can just put it into a paper towel. Firm pressure, but not too much. You don't want to break it. And you kind of just twist around. And then you get the film off of it. And a lot of this is the thick protective part. And now you just have pure, nice pigment. So once you really start using these, if you use them on a somewhat regular basis, and once a week is working here, you don't need to use some kind of a knife to cut them up. You can just, no problem. Okay, so now we got the phthalo blue. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this exactly, because I know from experience too much doesn't cover that well. So I'm trying to limit that a little bit and see how much I have to put down to cover what I like. One of the things I do like about these oil sticks, and I don't know if it's for all the brands or this particular one or whatever, the R&F I don't like. The pigments are gorgeous, but it's really super soft. More like lipstick, but a really ultra soft lipstick. So when I do that with the paper towel, sometimes I'll break them. And sometimes they just get a little bit mushy. The Senneliers people rave about, I might try those. These are very nice. And they dry quicker than the other ones, but not that quick. These are still at least a week. But I love the rough texture. Similar to a palette knife, but a little more controlled. I think I've mentioned that before. And that is very appealing to me. I don't know if I want all my artwork to look like that, but I do like that as a nice change. And then, and I'll point it out here a little bit. I'm gonna use the blender stick on this particular one. But I don't know. I think, like the water mixable oil paints that we've been doing on Sundays, I don't know that I'm going to keep those. Okay? I mean, don't get me wrong, the Holbeins that we're using are beautiful colors, and I enjoy using them. They take longer than I want to dry. And I mentioned it before, I'm an impatient oil painter. These, for some reason, I'm giving it a break because of the texture and the fun and everything else. Where if I'm going to use regular oil paint, I might as well use something that dries a little more to my taste, like the outfits that I've been using forever. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. So that is a texture that I like. Okay, why? I don't know, but I love oil paint with the palette knife. I'm not good, like I told you, at doing full paintings with a palette knife. I do some that are decent, but overall it's okay. This is probably my way of doing that kind of painting. Okay, now, just so you can see. Now, I've been using these from the very beginning with you only, so you've seen how many there's. And a full stick. I'll give you one that I haven't used yet. So that's how much I've used. This one I've used just a touch, but that's how much I've used. Probably, I don't know, 4 paintings, 3 paintings, something like that. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I want to get a little bit more of this pigment exposed. I just slit a little bit here with what I have is a very dull knife. And then you just peel it away. Okay. And then when you get to where the knife goes together and meets together, do that again. And you peel that off. And sometimes they come off real easy and sometimes they're a pain in the neck. This one's being a slight pain, but not too bad. There we go. And that's it. So now I've got quite a bit more to work with. And that's pretty much the thing with these oil sticks. I mean, they take a little getting used to, but overall, they're really fun. Now, here's another thing that I want to do that I really enjoy. Dry brush. I don't have anything on this. No water, no nothing. These are water soluble, so you can put water on here and give them, you know, smooth them out like you do a medium on regular oil painting. But they're creamy enough to where, look at how I can blend this. Now, I'm keeping the rough texture without, get all these things up. Now, this is what you're going to see a lot of with these, and this is basically just the wax. Is it a pain in the neck? Slightly, not that big of a deal. Because you could also blend that in together. You can push harder on those areas and it'll be, because it's just paint and mixed in with the wax. Okay. So I can still keep that rough texture. Okay. But I have a semblance of, I don't know. I'm failing to find the right words today. Okay, see, I've got that rough texture, but I still have a little bit of the palette knife look to it. Okay, it's smooth where it's supposed to be. I've got it covered real nice. Look, I can blend this in a little bit more to the white. And then do one of these. Now, one of the things I did find with these, and I think I mentioned it before, these, because they're relatively hard, the sticks, it's very difficult to go wet on wet when you have it like this, okay? So, what I found out is I prefer painting a la prima, all at once. However, if you want to layer these, I have found the best way to layer them is to let the first coat dry. So you let it go for about a week, and then you go over it with your highlights and whatever the case may be. And it looks really good. Again, all that paint on there, right in my little thing of water, and it'll be done. Okay, so let us put a little bit of yellow ochre on here. I'm not going to have white highlights. Those are too bright. I don't want to go crazy with the bright. So back into the paper towel because I've been using the yellow ochre. Anybody that paints knows yellow ochre is a color that's indispensable. Raw sienna gives you a similar look too, but you know, earth tone nonetheless. And then that's the only thing about these I don't like is the peeling. But because these are water mixable, you don't really have to worry about it getting on your fingers and stuff. It does, but it comes off so easily. You know, a little bit of soap and water and you're clean as can be, like it never happened. This one right here. What's nice about these two, that is kind of nice. Let's see, what's nice about these two, which is also kind of nice. My English is really good today. Okay, put that knife away. What's cool is, here's my palette. Notice what's on there? Exactly, nothing. So, every palette has a little bit of paint left over on it. Sometimes a lot of paint, whatever the case may be. Some people are really good with judging how much they're going to use, some are not. While you're painting, the beauty of the oil sticks is you don't waste any paint. The only paint you're wasting is the dry film that went over the pure pigment. That's it. So what's cool is your wasting of paint is virtually nothing. When you get to the very end, you can probably just use a palette knife itself and spread it on, and then you'll be fine. Okay, so now let's go here. I'll try doing the highlights first. And then I may add a little bit of blue to the shadows. And I may add a little bit of white to the highlights. Haven't decided yet. I want to get, you know, a nice little variety here. Okay, so good there. Trying to find a good color. I'm having a tough time doing it. Blue's usually pretty good. Ultramarine I may try. You know, why don't we do a little ultramarine? I usually don't want to go that dark with a shadow color, but I can always put a little bit of white in there to... Okay, now this is the problem I have with the other ones. A whole big chunk just came off. So that is disappointing. That's usually what happens to RNF. That's not what happens to these. So I got to cut a whole new thing off, and I just wasted that paint. So that, like I said, that's a little disappointing. And that's why any novelty thing, you don't want to spend a ton of money to try something out. You want to do as much research as you can, which is what I did before I bought these. They don't have a lot out. I mean, I think I have more videos out, complete videos on these Phoenix ones than any other ones. And you want to see what other people say. You want to get an idea how to use them and so on. And then you give them a try, but you don't spend a ton of money on them until you're pretty sure this is what you want to do. And I know I like them. I know they're fun. I know they're enjoyable. Whether they're practical for what I like to do, you know, time will tell. The one set was like $59 or $69. I don't remember. I told you what it was when I first got it, but it's been a while. So for a set of 24, that's nothing. Okay, that's just, for artist quality materials, that's no big deal. So now we'll see what we're going to do here. And I'm going to go. Now, one of the things that I try to do with these is I'm going to have foliage in here, believe it or not. It's going to be like a mountain range, but not, 15,000 feet up where there's not enough oxygen for plants. Like where we're going, my wife and I, in July, Rocky Mountain National Park. I forget the name of the road going up there. But you get to the top where the continental divide is and stuff, and you don't have any trees because the oxygen is so little there, so limited. I forget the hell the name of it. I know the one in Montana going to over the Continental Divide at Glacier National Park is called Going to the Sun Road. Don't remember the one in Rocky Mountain National Park, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I've seen the pictures and stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this isn't going to be that high up in elevation because I like to put some green in here. I don't want just mountain. And you can have a certain amount of green from that yellow ochre that I'm doing with this. Let's see, I'm trying to do this without getting in your way. Yeah, I can't wait. That's like the 2nd or 3rd week of July we're going. And Laura's never been to those mountains. And I have never been to those either, but I've at least had some experience with Montana where Laura hasn't. So I'm looking forward to that, and so is she. Like I said before, she's learning how to paint watercolors. So I told her she's going to have some serious reference material right in front of her doing a lot of plein air watercolor painting. I'm looking forward to it too. I'm going to bring a bunch of canvases and I'm going to have a bunch of fun. Okay, so I am not going to blend this right away. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reestablish where my highlights are. Okay, and I'll use the yellow ochre that I had before. And I'm going to have a lot of green in here because of the blue. But I at least want to establish back where I was. And then I'm going to hit them with white. It's still going to be green. But it's going to get a lot of it smoother. There we go. See, now these, I don't know, it seems the more I'm blending them and the more I'm using them, the softer they're getting to a degree. So I don't know if that's, maybe they were in a box for quite a while. And then when I bought these, they went from, real firm to now they're a lot easier to work with and layer. I'm not sure. But they just seem to be layering better than they used to. I'm going on it with white. I'm going to use the blending stick to smooth it a little bit. So it doesn't really matter which way my strokes are going. But I am trying to get rid of all the white from the canvas panel. Stuff like this. Once I do that, it'll look good. And just for the heck of it, the way these are going on right now, I'm going to see if I can do anything with clouds. No, not really. I was pushing really hard and it's not doing much, so I'll just if I want clouds later, I will put them in. I'll let it dry and then I'll put them in. Right now I'm pretty good with what I'm doing. Okay. Now my blending stick is working real well. Let's see here. Nope, I'm not going to do it with that. I am going to see how the brush works. There we go. Printer turned on by mistake. I've got my paper towels on the printer, and I guess when I went and grabbed them, I hit the button. All of a sudden my printer's starting, and I'm like, what the hell? I got a haunted house or what? Okay, now I'm going to take a smaller, small angle brush. Just get that right at that nice edge. There we go. There we go. Kind of establishing here where my highlights are. Go over that again with my... Right now it looks absolutely terrible. If you see this video, it worked out and I was able to salvage it. If you didn't see this video, then you won't even know what I'm saying because you're not going to see it. It's ugly. So let's see if I can get some decent highlights in here. Okay. And I'm pressing very hard. Okay. I'm gonna wipe off. Another one. Okay, that's actually starting to look like something. Hot damn. Get to save it after all. I'm probably not going to put as many things in here as I wanted, but I have to wait till it dries. So what we're going to do is, I don't like doing this, but we're going to do part 1 and part 2. So I got to let this dry, but at the moment, this is working out well. My highlights are established now. I just need them a little bit brighter. I don't want them in your face bright, but a little bit brighter. My shadows are good. Over here, I got to work on a little bit, and I want some clouds. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this thing dry, and then we're going to come back next Wednesday, and then we're going to finish it off. But right now, we've got a really good underpainting going. Let this puppy dry, and we'll be in great shape. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your work week. Thank you for coming along with me, and I will see you. I'll see you on Sunday for another Holbein water mixable oil painting, and on following Wednesday to finish this bad boy. Have a great day.